Thunderstorms forced the first ever evacuation in ECU football game. Was it chaos or calm? The answer depends on who you ask.
Plus, attorneys file a lawsuit in a 2010 car crash that killed 2 ECU students. What they say is to blame for the deaths.
And a neighborhood in the east is on edge after a string of homicides. There's a crime trend beginning in Goldsboro. 9 on your side at 6 starts right now.
This is 9 on your side at 6.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Amanda Goodman.
And I'm Jeff Varner. Thanks so much for inviting us in tonight. ECU police evacuate the University Stadium Saturday night. This is the first stadium evacuation in history. 9 on your side's Erica Anderson followed up on that drama today. She's live tonight in the newsroom with more. Erica, I understand a lot of people there Saturday. Many of them said this was just a mess.
Yes, they definitely did, Jeff. And while police say the evacuations went smoothly, students have a different opinion.
They were just telling us, get out, you have to get out of the stadium.
Deanna Cloud is one of 50,000 people evacuated from Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium Saturday after lightning forced police and game officials to suspend the game and force people out of the stadium. Though fans understood the danger, they say the outside of the stadium was just as dangerous.
It wasn't a lot of structure when that whole thing happened. I guess it seemed like it was a lot of chaos. People were just running around.
Well, it's pure pandemonium everywhere, and it kind of felt like a bomb scare. Like everyone's running around, it's pouring rain, it's lightning, thunderstorming. Nobody knew what was going on.
Fans say once the PA announcement said they had to evacuate, that's when everybody started heading for the stairs. Because it happened so quickly, not everybody made it out of the stadium. Officers forced fans under the stands. Cloud says even more frightening, she was with a 6-year-old girl whose parents were on the other side of the stadium.
We had to beg the security guard to let us back in because her parents were inside. They were freaking out because their little daughter is outside in the pouring rain.
To help with the evacuation, ECU police set up an evacuation site at the Minges Coliseum across the way. They say the evacuation process took about 20 minutes, and once the lightning threat was over, police let people back in. But after the hectic experience, the majority of the fans decided to go home.
Yeah, and police say despite the chaos, they have not gotten any reports that anybody was injured during the evacuation, and they had no choice but to evacuate to keep everybody safe. Back to you.
All right, Erica, thank you very much. While every thunderstorm could carry some lightning, the one that forced the evacuation at the ECU game does not really classify as severe.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist David Sawyer was at the game when it happened. He's here to explain. And David, you had to calm a lot of people who were sitting around you, didn't you?
Well, it's because they really were a little bit concerned about what was actually going on, as Erica shared. But I will applaud the officials in that they did need to get us out of that stadium as quickly as possible, because anytime there's a thunderstorm, yes, there is a lightning threat. Thus the reason why we call it a thunderstorm in the first place. But here's the look at the official definition of a severe thunderstorm. Severe thunderstorm is when winds exceed 58 miles per hour, or if there is rotation like within a tornado. The other way you can have a severe thunderstorm is if hail is greater than 1 inch. None of this was in the mix as far as Saturday night's game. But why did we have to evacuate so quickly? Again, lightning is a deadly possibility, but the reason the National Weather Service does not include it in the list of severe weather is simply because anytime there's a thunderstorm, there's a lightning threat, and if you included lightning, that would mean, yes, every storm would be severe, which is not the case. Let's go to Live Viper 9 really quickly. I do want to show you a severe thunderstorm. Speaking of, it's in Bladen County, could be moving into the southern portions of the 9 on your side viewing area in the next little bit. For the time being, just outside of the viewing area, this is a tornado warning. Not yet a threat to eastern North Carolina's 9 on your side viewing area, but coming up, I'll tell you much more of where this storm is going and what we can expect into Tuesday in weather-wise in just a few minutes.
All right, David, thanks so much. A sorority at ECU defending hazing allegations tonight after attorneys filed a lawsuit. Now, this all ties back to a fatal car accident back in 2010. 2 women were killed, 2 others injured. All 4 were pledging the Delta Sigma Theta sorority when they crashed. One of the victim's mother says the girl was sleep deprived as a result of being physically and emotionally hazed. Now, the suit claims wrongful death and calls for punitive damages for pain and suffering. The suit also accuses sorority members of covering up hazing evidence by deleting emails and text messages and lying about what caused that crash. A rash of recent murders in Goldsboro has some of its residents worried for their safety. Police are now investigating 5 murders that happened over the past month. The most recent happened over the weekend. So 9 on your side's Katie Banks went to find out if this violent crime is out of the ordinary for the city and if people have a right to be worried.
For the past month, Goldsboro police have had their hands full. Since the beginning of September, they have been investigating the murders of 5 people.
Crime is commonplace everywhere, but in Goldsboro, it seems like we've had an intensity of things that happen.
On September 8th, police found 2 men dead with gunshot wounds at a home on Devereaux Street. Police say Angelo Burden is a suspect, and they have arrest warrants charging him with 2 counts of murder. The very next day, 16-year-old Kennedy McLaurin Jr. went missing. Although police have yet to find McLaurin's body, 4 men are charged with his murder: Jerome Butts, Leonard Joyner, Kevin Smith, and Curtis Etheridge. On September 27th, police began investigating the shooting death of a man near Crawford and Elm Streets. And early this Sunday, 18-year-old Jairus Saunders was shot and killed, and police suspect 24-year-old Quentin Swinson is responsible.
The shooting that happened in this nightclub over the weekend is just one of several murders that have happened in Goldsboro over the past month. And people I talked with say this recent rash of violent crime has them worried for their safety.
My concerns are really for the youth in the city, you know, especially the African American population, because that's where we're having all the problems at. And it seems that there's no deterrent to what they're doing.
I'm concerned. There's so many murders. I don't know what can be done, but I'm concerned.
So what can be done, and are homicides in Goldsboro getting out of hand? I asked police, who simply told me we don't have any comment at this time.
And I'm just hoping that the community can come together as a whole, and even those that have been involved in these type of things realize that guns aren't the answer to anything.
In Goldsboro, Katie Banks, 9 on your side.
Now, at last check, Goldsboro police say they still have not located Quentin Swinson for the fatal shooting at Teaser's nightclub. The suspect in Kennedy McLaurin's murder are scheduled to appear in court again on October 8th.
Tonight, we know how a 90-year-old Carteret County woman died. Medical examiners say someone beat Goldie Hall. That is. Autopsies show the cause of death is blunt force injuries to the head. Deputies charge Hall's niece, Rhonda Hagan, with her murder. They say Hagan dumped her great-aunt's body in the woods behind a flea market in Newport. Tomorrow, a Carteret County man hopes to see his daughter for the first time since a registered sex offender ran away with her to Florida. Robert Lefevre says deputies were supposed to reunite him with his 12-year-old daughter, Abigail, this weekend. Deputies say 38-year-old Timothy Newman took off with her last week. The incident's putting Abigail's father under the microscope as well. The Department of Social Services is conducting a routine investigation into him. He says his daughter is currently in protective custody in Florida receiving counseling. A man tries to rob a student near the ECU campus. This happened close to midnight last night on Charles Boulevard near the freshman parking lot. The victim told police an armed man, more than 6 feet tall, wearing a mask, demanded money, and then took off empty-handed. Police say that suspect was wearing black pants with the letters NDC on one of the legs there. Call them if you have any information that can help them find this guy. The number to call is on our website, WNCT.com. A Raleigh man is dead after an apartment complex shooting near North Carolina State University. This happened just after midnight on Neely Street off Western Boulevard. Police are looking for 3 people, 2 men and 1 woman. Investigators say the trio shot and killed 29-year-old Monkeith, Tennessee. The university sent out an alert 30 minutes after that shooting. Police say that shooting was not a random act and that students there are not at any risk.
No foul play suspected after finding the body of a hunter. That's from deputies tonight. A Bertie County man found 51-year-old Gary Nanny's body off Winston Farm Road in the Maryhill area on Saturday. Deputies tell 9 on your side Nanny is from Marion and he was in the area hunting. Investigators found his body lying next to a deer stand. Medical examiners say he died of a heart attack. More than 1,000 Craven County students came to school today, had to go right back home. A power outage at Havelock High School canceled classes for the entire day. 1,100 students and 82 staff members showed up only to find out there were no lights, heat, or air conditioning. School was canceled around 8:45. Now, one of the school's transformers had blown out, apparently because of old age. For the most part, students welcomed the day off.
I get to relax another day. This is like a long weekend for me. So my day's getting better and better.
The blown out transformer has been replaced, power back on. No word yet on when students will have to make up today's lost time.
2 days from now, the presidential nominees will square off for the first debate of the election season. This is the first of 3 matchups between President Barack Obama and Republican contender Mitt Romney. It will be held in Denver. Colorado, of course, being a key battleground state. Political experts say there is no doubt economy will be the hot topic.
I think a lot of people are waiting until the debate on Wednesday, and I think that's going to be a big sway for some people, just to finally see them kind of go head-to-head and see where they are on the issues.
Now, President Obama won the state of Colorado in the 2008 election. North Carolina is one of the critical battleground states in the upcoming election. It's making the Tar Heel state quite the candidate stomping ground. Vice President Joe Biden scheduled stops in our state this week. Tomorrow, he'll be in Charlotte and at UNC Asheville as well. President Obama, as we know, narrowly won our state during the 2008 election. It was the second closest race in the country.
Today, the North Carolina Republican Party fired a company paid to register new voters. The company is called Strategic Allied Consulting. It comes after Florida investigators uncovered several fraud cases. The State Board of Elections is calling on county officials to review any registrations filed by this company. Several states paid the company more than $3 million to register new voters. For our state elections, a candidate for lieutenant governor is making stops in the east tomorrow. Republican candidate Dan Forrest will visit Onslow, Carteret, Jones, and Pitt counties tomorrow. Forrest plans to meet with economic developers, business leaders, and small business owners. He says he wants to hear the concerns about our economy. For a full list on where Forrest plans to be, just go to our website, WNCT.com.
Well, I'm sure by now you've noticed things are a little different here for us at WNCT. For days we've been dying to tell you. It just looks different, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels so good. Everything looks different, and the man next to me is different. Well,
oh, yeah, I'm part of that, too. I forget about me, though.
The wait is finally over. Time to take down the green curtain and show you what we've been up to the last few days.
Storm Team 9 enjoying a new forecast center, too. We still have the reliable live Viper 9, though. Going to show you some possible severe weather heading our way right after the break.